Alright guys, welcome back to Indulge with Dimples. It is Sunday, that's why you're here watching me. So I got something really amazing that we're going to cook this Sunday. Simple, easy. Now I done told you before, this is not a keto channel. But I like keto food. And I like eating low carb. And I like staying on track with my life journey. And I will be updating y'all with that. But you clicked on this video because you seen the picture, which is delicious. And you seen the title, which you are interested in learning how to make. So follow me in the kitchen and let's get this started. Alright guys. Alright guys, so like I told you, we're going to be making a meal prep this week, and we're going to be doing garden meal preps. When I say garden meal preps, things that you can buy in the produce area, or if you have a garden, which you can make. You don't have to go out and get all this extra stuff and these cans and sauces. So this is zucchini. I got a bunch of zucchini this lady gave me from her garden. I was being nice and I picked a couple of them up, but then she was like, no, I want you to get more than that. So this whole week you're going to be seeing me cook zucchini in all our dishes. Then I got this nice bell pepper. You can tell this was grown in a home garden. Look how big this is. You can't get this in the store. And then I got like a Roman tomato. She had like these beautiful tomatoes in here. So garden meals. We're going to dice. Now anything that I'm going to throw up in here that's going to make it better than a garden meal, I have some andouille sausages. Now you don't have to put andouille sausages in there if you want to go meatless. You can also go ahead and put some chickpeas in there, which I have. I'm probably going to show you that tomorrow. And then I have this sweet potato. Okay, so we're going to dice everything up, and then we're going to put a little olive oil in our pan, and we're going to cook it, saute, and I'm going to show you how you're going to have a healthy garden meal. So let's get to it. And I'm going to make them about 1 inch. I don't want them too small because we got to cook everything else. So I'm just going to cut them in 4s like so. And we got a nice little dice going on. So this is what you want. So go ahead and dice the rest of them up. Go ahead and second the Now you look at the oatmeal for a while. You look at the oatmeal. I'm just going to half of it. And I'm going to that. I'm looking pretty big. Like so. Go ahead and put your oven on 350. I have a non-stick skillet right here, and I'm going to dump all my vegetables in here, and I'm just going to give it a couple salt, pepper, some garlic powder. If you have some onions, go ahead and dice that up as well and put it in your pan. And guess what? After this is simmered down and it has sauteed down, we're going to go ahead and add our andouille sausages, and we're going to cut up our tomato. So follow me. This is some olive oil I put in here. I bought these off of Amazon. They're really cute. You get 2 of them in there, and you can just spray put whatever you want in there. But I got olive oil on one. And you just spray it. Get a couple sprays. Not too bad. And then I'm going to go ahead and show you. I'm going to put a little bit of garlic powder in here. But if you have fresh garlic, go ahead and add that in. And I love my garlic powder. If you have my favorite seasoning, I know I love this. Just go ahead and put this in there. You don't have to put no salt. You don't have to put no pepper. You don't have to put no garlic or onion. This is the miracle seasoning right here. Let this saute. And then I'll be back to show you when we add in our meat and our tomatoes. Alright, so at this point in time, I like it to cook about medium. Like, it still have a crunch to it, but it's not hard and raw. But it has like a good texture. And that's how I like mine. Now, if you're anything like me, you like a little kick, you want to be a little extra. Go ahead and throw you in some Cajun seasoning. Always got a kick, something with a spice to it, your favorite seasonings. And then we're going to go ahead add our andouille sausages, which you do not have to add. You can add chickpeas, watercressins. You can add anything like that, and the Roman tomato. And I got a little bit of leftover cheese I'm going to add in there. It's going to make a nice little combination. Just throw that in there. And then we're going to let this cook for another 5 to 6 minutes. And the meal is going to be complete. So, also, on top of adding the olive oil, I went ahead and add a tablespoon of butter, because butter gives that rich flavor that it just brings out a little something. And then I just add a little pinch of Himalayan salt, which you don't have to add if you don't like, but just a little pinch. That's going to bring out some more of the flavor. Let this saute for a little bit longer. And then when I come back, I'm going to show you our garden meal 1 that we're making this week. Easy, simple, and it's healthy. You're going to be full. You know, you don't have to always have meat and all this extra stuff. You don't always have to be in the kitchen for hours on end. So, first garden meal of the week. Oh, and yeah, and I did add this little hot pepper in there. Ooh, it's going to be delicious. Alright, guys. Alright guys, so the meal is done. I'm telling you, garden meals for the week, you're going to be like, why did I didn't think of it? So, I love this meal. It's simple and easy. It takes about 10 minutes to cook because one, the sausages is already done. You do not have to put sausages in there. But the little cheese that I put in there, you're going to have like a little cheese pool like you see over there. I love that the zucchini, it takes like a mushroom. It takes whatever flavors you put in there. The tomatoes, you just want to hit them with a little bit of heat and let them cook, but you don't want them cooked like you're going to make a sauce. I mean, the bell pepper still have a crunch to it, but it has the flavor, and everything in here goes together. It's well pudding, and it's just a great meal to end the summer off with because, you know, fall is coming in, harvest. So, get all your vegetables that you really think that's not going to last long and make this meal. I'll be back with y'all with meal number 2, garden time, alright? Try this out. Alright guys, so this is day 2 of the garden meal prep. So what we're going to be doing is making some pizzas. Now I'm going to show you how to make pizzas. Everybody know how to make pizza. But I'm just going to bring you how I'm going to make my garden pizza. So the 2 items that I am using that is not from the garden. Well, 4 items I'm using not from the garden. But you can improvise. So if you're doing low carb and if you're watching your calories, these are the 2 tortilla wraps that I would tell you to use. Now, you know our meals is 10 minutes or less. I'm not about to be in the kitchen making no tortillas. But if you find anything like this, these are really good. They have the green spinach. They have came out with a lot of lines of these. And you just go buy the carbs you want. This have 4 net carbs, so low carb if you're into that. Also, this is from I's. And this smells really good. It's a flatbread type. And this is a good one if you're looking at your calories. It's 90 calories. It smells like Italian herbs is all up in this bread. So if you're looking for something that got a little kick and flavor to it and you're watching your calories versus carbs, I will go with this. Now, I went to the market and they had some tomatoes, so we're going to be using tomatoes. Again, the star this week is zucchini because we have a bunch of them. I also have bell pepper we're going to throw in there. And if you want, you can put pepperonis, or you can choose not to have pepperonis in there since this is a vegetable meal prep this week. I'm going to go ahead and use some pizza sauce. Go and find the pizza sauce that you like. If you're low carb, this is not low carb. But if you're low carb, you want to go ahead and find a low carb one. And then over there, I just have some mozzarella squares that we're going to put on this pizza. So let me go ahead and take out the flat bread or tortilla. And what you want to do, you just want to cook it first so that you want to spray a little oil. Cook it first so they can get a nice little flavor to it. And then go ahead and add all our stuff to it. So let's go ahead and work this out. Alright, so this is the flatbread Italian, and this is our low carb one. And only thing I'm going to do prior to adding everything on, I'm going to add a little bit of my seasoning that y'all know I love to use. Just sprinkle a little bit, goes a long way because we want lots of flavor. And then when you go ahead and open up your pizza sauce, and put as much as you like onto your stuff. A lot of people like a lot of sauce, a lot of people don't. So it's really up to you. While you're preparing your pizza, you want to go ahead and make sure you preheat your oven if you did not already cook these just a slight bit. You want to go ahead and just preheat your oven. But anything that you get out the garden, you actually can just go ahead and put it on your pizza. But I'm just showing you what I'm going to put on my pizza this week. And I like it. A lot of people will be like, I never tried that before. But Try it out before you say you don't like it, especially if you're watching your weight, or if you're just trying to be a healthier eater, if you're trying to cut out eating meat, or past this time you have started a garden and you see your results coming in. You want to go ahead and use what's in the garden. So what I like to do is put the sauce on there, and then I like to add the cheese. Then I like to go ahead and add the vegetables on. Now I thinly slice the tomatoes, but if you can't thinly slice them, if you don't have a steady hand, get a mandolin out and slice them bad boys up on the mandolin. You want to make sure the tomato that you get is not juicy. It's kind of like it's not ready to be eaten, but you can eat it raw. And you want to go ahead and just slice them up as thin as you can. You know, I'm gonna be generous and just share some of these tomatoes. I'm not gonna eat them all. Now, if you never put zucchini on your pizza, go ahead. You're gonna love it. Zucchini is just like a mushroom. Any flavors that you put with it, it's going to soak it up, and it's delicious. So, if you never had zucchini on your pizza, this is why I'm showing you how to make this. This is all about the zucchini that we're having this week. We are going to share the love with the zucchini. And I'm going to go ahead and get some bell peppers, thinly slice them up as best as you can, and throw the bad boys on there. Now, if you want, you can add some onion powder, garlic powder. You also can go ahead and add some Italian seasoning, but the seasoning that I have, it actually has everything in it but the Italian seasoning. And I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of that on the top, just like so. And this is quick and easy. Kids can help, you can help, everybody can do their own. And I'm just going to add a little bit of the seasoning on top, like so. So when everything melts in here, it is going to be delicious. And then I'm going to add pepperonis on 1/2 of this. Now you can opt out to not put meat on yours. That's fine, because this is all about what's in your garden and how to use and repurpose everything so nothing goes to waste. Let this cook for about 15 minutes. When it comes out, it's going to be bubbly and delicious. Let it sit for 5, and then we're going to cut into this bad boy. And guess what? It's going to be time to eat. So let me show you a close-up of what we did. So just half pepperonis on here, but everything is from the garden. The tomatoes, the zucchini. If you have not had zucchini on your pizza, try it out. You're going to like it. And when I come back, I'm going to show you what this amazing meal is going to look like. Alright guys, so everything is done. It only took 10 minutes to cook, depending on how hard you want your crust. So look, that's really good. That's a good, nice crust. Now this is the Italian flatbread that we made. Look how good that is. Now you can leave it in there a little longer if you want it a little harder, but I like it just like this. And all we're going to do is cut this up in squares, as well as here's the low carb one. This crust gets hard a little faster, but once you let it sit out and let it steam, it gets a little soft, so it's really good as well. And then if you want to make a whole meal out of it, just go ahead and put a salad with it, and there you go. You have you a garden meal day 2. Alright, see you next time. Alright guys, so we are here for our 3rd meal of the week, and I'm about to show y'all how we're going to put the garden into our meal. So, I had a plate full of vegetables that I have cut up to show y'all what we're going to put in our skillet. So I have some zucchini. This is how big the zucchini are in the garden. So I cut this zucchini up, and voila, I diced it. I made thin slices and diced them. That's what we're going to put in there. We had some leftover potatoes. So they were kind of boiled. They more of the texture of potato salad potatoes, okay? And then I have a diced red onion back here, and I have some bell peppers. So what we're going to do is put all these vegetables in our skillet. Make sure your skillet's on like medium high. Spread them out. You're going to put like a tablespoon or 2 of butter in here, and you're going to make sure all the vegetables cook and get seasoned very well. Now what we're going to add to this, our seasoning, is some garlic. a little bit of ground paprika. If you have smoked paprika, put that in there. A dash of salt. If you do not like using regular table salt, go ahead and get you some pink Himalayan salt. Also, I'm going to use adobo. I'm going to put that in there. It's good on a lot of things. So we're going to put a light hand sprinkle in, not a heavy hand, and then some ground pepper. And then I'm going to let that get down and season very well. And then I'm going to come back. I'm going to go ahead and add in our cup of spinach. And then, guess what? This is going to even be healthier than you thought. We're going to add some chickpeas in there. And I'm going to show you how we're going to add our cheese and sauce to cook this down and render. And I'm going to show you the whole meal and complete. So go ahead and pop that in there. Alright, so the lighting changed a little bit because it's getting a little dark in the afternoon. But we're going to finish this meal because I got to eat it for dinner. So your vegetables that we put in here, it is cooking and sauteing. We put all our seasoning in there. I taste a little bit of this. It needs a hint of salt. So I'm just going to put a little more hint of salt in there. Now at this time, I'm going to go ahead and cook down my spinach. So you don't want to put the spinach in there when you're cooking the vegetables because spinach cook a little bit faster. So I'm just going to put a handful of spinach in there, just like so. And I'm going to go ahead and crack open these chickpeas that I showed you, and we're going to throw that in there as well. Now, back here that you see, right here, I cooked some rice, because you can put rice with this really good. And if you want to flavor your rice, you want to rinse. If you're using rice in a bag, you want to rinse off your rice about 2 times. And then you want to get your water boiling first. And then you want to add your seasonings in there. And after you add your seasonings in there, when the water comes to a boil, just put in your rinsed rice and let it cook. And it's going to come out really well. And what I'm talking about, I can show y'all. And this is how the rice came out. Now, I used a seasoning pack. And that's why my rice is this color. Look, more color, better eating. Alright, let me tell you that much. So that's done. Now we're just going to let the spinach and the chickpeas get some flavor from the vegetables that we cooked earlier. And then I'm going to come back and we're going to start making our sauce. So for a sauce, you're going to need some heavy whipping cream, just probably 2 or 3 tablespoons of it, and whatever cheese that you like to put in here. I'm going to use my 3-steak cheddar cheese and the rest of my sharp cheese in here. And then I'm going to taste for flavor, and then when we get done, I'm going to show you how we're going to put this bowl together because this is a really healthy, good meal. Alright guys, so this is cooking really, really good. It's sauteed down all the vegetables, and again, the chickpeas we added here in the spinach, and the spinach have cooked down, and the chickpeas have added or gained flavor from everything else we have in here. So I'm just going to make a little well in the middle, and now we're going to make our sauce for this. Sauce is very simple and easy. I'm just going to put about 2 to 3 tablespoons of heavy whipping cream in here. I'm going to eyeball it, even though I know how I want this to be, or you can just eyeball like I'm doing how much you want it to be creamy. Make sure you add a little bit more salt to this because salt is your friend when it brings out flavor. Go ahead and add some cheese to it. You can add as much or less cheese as you like. Again, make it creamy consistency as you like. You don't have to make it how I'm making it, and you don't have to make it how the next person making it. But I'm telling you, this is really, really good. So take your spatula and just start mixing it together. The seasoning flavors that you have in here already is going to combine with the sauce. And the cheese is going to melt with the heavy whipping cream. The heavy whipping cream is going to make a nice creamy sauce for this, and it's going to be delicious, okay? So don't worry. Now, if you don't like a lot of sauce, or you're not a saucy type of person, use 1.5 tablespoons of heavy whipping cream. Don't put that much cheese in here. If you want it cheesy, ooey gooey, and you're not going to put rice with this, then go ahead, be my friend, and add all the cheese and sauce that you like. But make sure you know that adds up to calories, okay? Just want you to know that, okay? I don't want you to be mad at me because you're like, yeah, it was good, but yeah, I know. You went ham heavy on the heaven whipping cream. I say heaven whipping cream, not heavy. Alright, so let this simmer for about 5 more minutes, and then once it's done simmering, make sure you taste it so you have all your flavor components in here. I'm going to go ahead and just taste it right now. Make sure everything is like it should be. Now, if you don't want a crunch to it, let your bell peppers cook down a little bit more. But I want a crunch to mine, and I'm going to taste this. Y'all, if y'all can see me dance, you be like, okay, I feel you. So I'm going to go ahead and let this simmer up, bubble up a little more, stir it up. When you eat it, when you say, you know it's good. Alright guys, it's done. It's steamy, it's hot, it's ready. Okay, so let me scooch y'all back so y'all can see how I'm going to simmer my bowl. Hope you get a good idea. So here's my bowl right here. I'm not going to hold it because it's a little hot. I'm going to get my rice, my beautiful colorful rice that I have right here. And I'm just going to give me 2 scoopfuls at the bottom of my bowl. Make sure you put some butter, a little salt in your rice, and season it up, okay? That's the goal. Now I'm going to go ahead and cut this off and just let it simmer by itself. But I'm going to give me a nice little scoopful of the vegetables, okay? Because the vegetables is what's going to bring the dish together. Get some chickpeas, zucchini, some onions, some bell pepper, a couple of them potatoes in here. Oh, get that sauce. The sauce is everywhere. The sauce is the breaker right here. Okay, get all that in there. Yes. When you serve it, you should have to worry about adding nothing else to it. Look at that. That is beautiful. It's good. It's hot. It's steamy. Make sure you taste it. And guess what? We got one more meal to make for our garden vegetables. And hopefully you like this. And I'll see you next time, y'all. Alright guys, like I told you earlier, we're going to make a savory zucchini cheddar quick bread, and you can add garlic to it. So that's the twist that I'm going to do today. This is not my recipe, but I have made it a couple times, so I was like, well, why not let my people know how to make it? So I'm about to do the rundown. Normally that's what I do. This is a serving of 8, 269 calories, and I got off of Pinterest. So I'm going to go ahead and tell you the things that I'm using for this. I grated 1.5 cups of zucchini. I made big grades. What you want to do when you grade these, you want to go ahead and get a paper towel, squeeze a little bit of the liquid out, and then sit it in the bowl. You don't have to squeeze it to death, but just a little bit. You need 2 cups of all-purpose flour, which I have right here. You need 2 tablespoons of baking powder, which is right here. You need 1/2 tablespoon. You need 2 teaspoons of baking powder, which I have right here. You need 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda, which I have right here, and 1/2 teaspoon of salt that I also have in this one right here. You need 1 tablespoon of vinegar right here. You need 1 cup of whole milk or half a milk or whatever milk you need. And if you have buttermilk, you just want to skip the milk and the vinegar. But if you add vinegar and milk together, it's going to curdle and you got buttermilk. Didn't even know that. That's something I'm telling y'all today. You need 3 tablespoons of butter, which I have right here. You need some green onions. I have back there, so I'm going to chop them up. And you need 1.5 cups of whatever cheese you want to use, sharp cheddar. I'm going to use the 3-state cheddar, and I'm going to use the full bag, which is 2 cups. We don't have time to be halving that up. And you need 1 egg. You're going to need some spray butter because we have to spray our pans. And you need a loaf pan, a bun pan, a bread bun pan. I'm just going to use some aluminum foil pans that I got from the Dollar Tree because, you know, I don't like to make a lot of mess, and I really do not like to clean up. So let's just get down to how we're going to make this. Okay guys, look at what. Alright guys, just for right now, I'm going to show you how the bread look at the end. I did not actually go ahead and make the recipe because if you want to see the whole recipe, I will upload this next week for you so you can see how I made the bread, because this was a very detailed video and I didn't want to make this video too long. But if you're interested in how to make the zucchini bread, I will post it next week, so stay tuned. Thanks. I got going on. So the bread came out. It is semi-warm. I'm going to use my hands to pick this up to show y'all, but look at this. So I just sprinkled a little cheese on top because I wanted to be fancy. So I'm going to get a bread knife and I am going to cut the corner. Now this serves 8 people. Okay. And OMG, this is so fluffy and light. And if you spray your pan right, it should come out just how we praying for it. It smells so good, y'all. Should have got me a fork. Let me get a fork. Hold on. Okay. Y'all, it smells so divine. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Okay, so let's just flip it out. It smells good. So let's cut a piece. Should have did that in the beginning. Being extra. Oh yeah. You can tell it's still warm. You can tell it's still warm, y'all. It smells freaking delicious. It's still warm and it smells freaking delicious. I can just smell that cheese in there. Okay. It's moist. It's cheesy. It has that garlic flavor. And only thing that I needed to do is let this rest and don't cut into it no more. Let it rest a little bit. And this is good. So that is our 4th meal from the garden. And everything that we have used is from the garden, from our refrigerator. Put a little butter on this baby. Look at that. Alright. Really good. And it rises too. So we didn't over mix it or anything. So until next time, I will see y'all next Sunday. Hopefully you like meals from the garden brought to you with zucchini. And I'll see you next time.